Welcome everybody to both sides of the conversation. I'm John Henry, Executive Director. Today is Tuesday, and y'all know every Tuesday is my most favorite day of the week when we come on our podcast because it's a lot of joy. It's a lot of Black businesses, a lot of community organizations and folks that are doing some amazing things to uplift our community. You know, all during the week, there's ups and downs, bad news, things happening. But on Tuesday, you know it's some hidden gems that's coming in the building, and they're going to talk about what they're doing, and it's just great news to see our people doing some amazing things, impact the community. So I'm excited about today because y'all know last week, the bishop, it was going down last week. We got some powerful conversations coming up. We got a phenomenal educational Thursday coming up. And I got to tell y'all now, I'm not going to be here, okay? My team going to hold it down. For the Department of Police Accountability, we are getting those folks. They're going to be coming on, talking to community, educating our community about what they do and how community could get access and learn a little bit more about the police accountability. We know community have been reaching out. Y'all know there's been some issues in community. When we talk about policing in our community, I know the community have questions, and they're going to be here to answer a lot of questions and put out a powerful PowerPoint presentation for community. But the bishop, I'll be out in community uplifting the people. We have a phenomenal event that we have to be at, so y'all going to miss me. But Khalees is going to hold it down. Her and Brandy be here, hold it down for the team, okay? But we will be here on Sunday because y'all know we got amazing conversation that's going to happen this Sunday. It's going to be touchy. It's going to get a little hot in here, okay? We talking about reparations on Sunday. Everybody's talking about it. It's national news. I think it's going to be on CNN tonight. They talking about it. San Francisco, y'all listen. It's going down. It's going to be a great conversation. We got some pushback. We got some people that's rolling with us. We got some people that's undecided, divided. But we will have the conversation here at both sides of the conversation. So, with that being said, to all of our new followers, folks just tuning in for the first time, welcome to both sides of the conversation. Follow us on all our social media handles. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our newsletter. People want to see what we're doing and how we make an impact. Oh, we make an impact. We changing the narrative in our community, and we excited to be here today. So, with that being said, the power is yours. Khalees, holla at the people. Let them know what's going on.
Yes, happy Hidden Gems Tuesday. I'm so grateful for today. We have a great show tonight. Two phenomenal presenters. We are excited about it. The weather, as you know, the winds are bad, knocking trees down, shutting down highways. People don't have power. So, community, please get your lanterns out, your flashlights, your candles. I don't know if you got gas stoves or not, but be prepared, because the atmospheric river is flowing. And I must say, it's pretty bad out here. But as I said, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop this show. Hidden Gems is on the way, and it's going to take us right into talking to our youth team. Brandy, go ahead and say something to the community.
Hi, as you know, I'm Brandy from the youth team. Like Khalees has said, the winds have been pretty bad today, so make sure you check on all your loved ones. I wanted to say happy Hidden Gems Tuesday, as was just said. I can't wait to see these two presenters talk about what they want to talk about, and I'm glad to be educated on what they are here to say. So.
All right. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, you team. And yes, it is tremendous out there. Okay. They said the winds are getting up to 80 miles per hour. Y'all know here in the Bay Area, we're not used to these winds. The trees have been tumbling all over San Francisco, all throughout the Bay Area. Right now, traffic getting out of San Francisco is a nightmare. Two big rigs turned over eastbound on the bridge today. Traffic is backed up. The rain is coming down. We got about 80,000 PG&E customers without power. Check on your loved ones. Make sure the elders is okay. And make sure you check in on your folks. It is terrible out there. So community drive safe. Be safe out there. Folks that are living close to the levees and low water building areas, please keep an eye. As tonight they are predicting that the creeks is going to be up at overflowing levels. So do your part. Check on your folks. If you close to those, make sure you check out and make sure you clean your gutters and all that stuff. This is why y'all got to do the preventive stuff. See, we've been telling y'all for 2 weeks the storms is coming. Got to make sure you're checking on your house, doing all the things you need to do. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump into today's conversation. Just a couple things that I want to get out to the community that's fresh off the press, because y'all know we try to keep y'all up to date with everything going on today. Shamon Walden, board supervisor, put out a presentation to the board. They're going to be going ahead and removing $50 million and putting it over to the side to hold for reparations. I know a lot of folks are confused. Y'all heard about what's been going on with people saying Black folks shouldn't get cash payments. There was a big controversy. Y'all know here I've made a big controversy, and everything is going on. It's happening. But again, today, that was great news. The Reparation Committee Task Force, the chair put out a letter. There are still things happening. It's not over yet. It's going to be a fight to the end, community. But here in San Francisco, we are not going to let none of our officials, none of our leaders stop the progress that's been happening, the damage that has been caused, the harm that has been caused to our community. We will not go to sleep and rest like everything is okay. The work that is still going on to remove Pastor Brown is still moving forward. So just stay tuned to community. We're not playing, and we're going to make sure that these leaders, these folks that are in our community are held accountable. And we just not going to let people play the game with our people. Y'all know me, the bishop. I'm going to make sure we're going to see it through. So again, it's going down, community. Y'all better tune in this Sunday. It's going to be a heavy conversation. It's going to be a lot of frustration. It's going to be a lot of everything this weekend because we're keeping it real like we always do here at both sides of the conversation. But again, just happy to be here on this Tuesday. So I'm going to go ahead and turn over to you guys and get us through the world news and make sure we get through our events because I know the community are looking for things to get into. I know our youth are looking for all the opportunities. And again, it's been some tragic things happening here in the Bay Area that I got to say, and I know we'll get through some of it through the news, but I'm going to say it again to all of our elders, all of the adults, all of the parents out there, shame on you. What's going on in our community is a direct reflection of the poor leadership from our leaders, from our parents. We got a potential race war with our young people going on right now. Y'all seen the news. I keep telling y'all, I've been saying it all week. There's a volcano that is about to erupt in America. There is a volcano that is about to erupt in San Francisco. There is enough of hatred, things going on in our communities, and people have had enough. If we don't step in and do what we're supposed to do as community leaders, as adults, as parents, we are headed for some dark days. The tension is high. The lava is spitting at the top of the volcano right now. We got to do something, community. We got to stand together. We got some trouble on our hand, but we could get through it if we stick together in solidarity. But go ahead, team. Take us into the news. Get us through this so we can get our phenomenal hidden gems up here today.
Absolutely. So, with the news, there was a suspect identified that was accused of stabbing a pregnant woman and 2 children in Antioch. So, this happened over the weekend on Saturday. The suspect was 37 years old and his name was Bartley Hall. The police had announced the charges against the suspect, which were 3 felony counts of attempted murder and 2 felony counts of evading a police officer. So, on Saturday, about 4 p.m., on the 100 block of Wilbur, there was a call for a high-speeding vehicle that was leaving the scene. Hall was taken into custody after a crash that happened in Solano County. Nobody was injured in the crash, but he was taken to the hospital for precautionary reasons. There were 3 victims with stab wounds: a 35-year-old pregnant woman, a 14-year-old boy, and an 11-year-old girl. They were all taken to the local hospital, which were 2 placed in critical condition. You know, this is awful, community. It's awful because you have to really pay attention to your surroundings and just pray over your family. Police did not specify which victims were in critical condition, but Hall is being held in a Martinez detention facility on a $1.6 million bail. Also, there was a 20-year-old shot to death at Concord Mall today, and the suspect is at large. This 21-year-old man was shot in the mall, and he was injured. It was a violent scene. So there was a fleeting of the scene on Solano Way at Broadmoor Avenue, according to Concord police. The man who opened fire may have given his gun to a homeless man at the mall, the police said. The 21-year-old was shot in the head and his body lay underneath a tarp at the mall. The second victim was taken to the hospital. So apparently there were more than just one victim that was shot. The shooting happened at 10 o'clock this morning. There's no clear motive. Is Donald Trump likely to be arrested soon? Will he be indicted? What we know. Well, former President Donald Trump was predicted Tuesday that he'll be indicted under investigation by the Manhattan District Attorney's Office and is coming to a close. Though there is no confirmation the indictment will come, Trump may face charges that allege the role in making $130,000 hush money payment to an adult film actress just before the 2016 presidential election. This is up in the air and it's been going on for months. So all we could do is pay attention to the media, pay attention to the surroundings, because this may cause an uproar. We know what happened at the White House previously. San Francisco Mall beefs up its security after several teen fights caught on camera. The police in San Francisco have responded to a series of brawls at Stonestown Galleria by adding more patrols on Monday. The last two incidents involved several dozen youth duking it out while streaming it live on social media. What triggered this brawl is unknown, but the motivation seems unclear. They're trying to blame it on COVID, that kids were locked in the house too long. No, I think there's some underlying issues there, but it'll all come out. Supervisor Melger tweeted that the youth altercations at the mall over the past couple of weeks have resulted in physical injuries. There's been threats made. There's a lot around this. She says also that they've been communicating with San Francisco Unified because this has been happening mostly on Wednesdays when there's early release from school. So all the kids are going to the mall and there's just been a lot of brawls. The mall spokesperson told ABC7 Gloria Rodriguez that this is a violation of the code of conduct. We are now calling for a hearing asking the mayor's office, the superintendent of the schools, and the DA and chief of police to address the recent acts of violence that have surfaced at the mall and recently at some of the public schools. Stonestown Galleria website says people who do not act responsibly could be asked to leave. More with these world events, I tell you. A 14-year-old nicknamed El Chapito arrested in Mexico for murder of 8 people at a birthday party. The boy allegedly rode up on a motorcycle and opened fire on a family in the low-income Mexico City suburb of Chumalacán. The victims were holding a party at their house at the time of the attack, which also left 5 adults and 2 children wounded. It was reportedly a birthday party. The motive in these killings has not been made public, but drug gangs in Mexico frequently dabble in kidnapping and contract killing. They also kill rivals selling drugs on their territory or people who owe them money. Mexico is no stranger to child killers. You know, there's a lot going on in this world out here, and I'll tell you, it's just awful. It's really bad. So that'll take us right into our events by Brandy.
Hello, everyone. I just want to go straight into it. Electrification Clinic. Learn more about an affordable electric home on BNSN Resource Center at 9400 International Boulevard, Unit C in Oakland on March 23rd from 5 to 7. For more info, the link will be posted below. Applications due March 24th for 100% affordable housing program through City and Counties at San Francisco Mayor's Office on 921 Howard Street. And the lottery is April 7th. The link to apply will be listed below. Mission Science Workshop hosting Giant Blood Vessel exhibit at Charles Drew Elementary School, which is at 501 Pomona Street on March 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thurgood Marshall Block Party. Free activities, bounce houses, barbecues, resource fairs, and more. On March 25th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 45 Conkling Street. March 25th, Bayview Science Workshop is being hosted at Charles Drew from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is at Charles Drew Elementary School at 50 Pomona Street. The link will be posted below. Princess Project has a volunteer opportunity for our 2023 prom dress giveaways from now through May 28th at 455 Market Street. To sign up out of the eventbrite.com, which will be posted below. San Francisco Recreations and Parks Department is hosting an aquatics lifeguard class from Tuesday till Friday, March 28th through the 31st, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. For more info, email the link below. Youth Speaks is hosting a writing and performance workshop, Has a Spring series, at 265 Shabo Street, and there's an museum available from now through May 31st. For more info, the link will be posted below. Mo members are inviting you to the Black Venues opening reception on April 4th from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. at 685 Mission Street at 3rd. The link will be posted below. The very first kayaking and family event, is being held at Jackrabbit Beach Candlestick area on April 8th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. To RSVP, the Google document is posted below. Paid Youth Arts Workforce Developing Training Program. Youth applications are due April 24th, and the link to apply will be posted below as well. Mackey's Corner presents Suicide Awareness and Prevention on June 3rd at Gilman Park in San Francisco. For more info on how you can help, email the email below or call 415-613-5890. 2023 Summer 8-Week Program. For literacy, enrichments, sports, weekly field trips, and more. For grades 6 through 8 on June 12th through August 4th. From 8 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. at 1050 McAllister Street. For more info, the link will be posted below. To remove Reverend Amos Brown from the NAACP and Reparations Task Force. Reverend Brown does not represent the change we need. BSOTC needs your support and signature. The link to help us furthermore is going to be posted below. Saving to Build My Dream Art and Video Contest. To win $500 in scholarships. The deadline will be on March 24th, and for more info, the link will be posted below. There will be a job fair at Treasure Island at the Job Corps Center on March 30th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at 351 Avenue in San Francisco. The link will be posted below. Close the Gap Foundation is having summer fellowship scholarship opportunities. The program is June 4th through September 17th. The application is due March 31st. For more info, the link will be posted below. 826 Valencia is pleased to offer multiple $20,000 scholarships to outstanding high school seniors in San Francisco USD. It is due April 7th at 11:59 p.m. To apply for this scholarship, the link is below. Hope SF is accepting academic scholarship applications for students who live in Alice Griffith, Potrero Terrace Annex, Hunters View, or Sunnydale. The deadline is April 14th, and to apply, the link will be posted below. The City and County of San Francisco has an upcoming career event, the Career Resource Fair, April 15th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Civic Centers Plaza at 355 McAllister Street in San Francisco. To register, the link will be posted below. And lastly, join our youth team. San Francisco youth volunteers needed. There's a paid stipend, and we need high school or college honor roll students. Join with us. Email hr@bsotc.org. BSOTC is in search of volunteers. Our work is inspiring and it feels good. We make a difference in the community with tangible results to show it. We're a highly driven group with high impact. We get the right things done in the right way. Not only will you contribute to the community, but you'll also learn a lot and gain knowledge in your field of interest within the organization. We value your ideas and your input. Sign up to be a volunteer today. You can make a difference. Go to all of our social media sites for more news on how to get back to community and support BSOTC.
All right. Thank you. Y'all see how talented young Brandy is, community. When we invest in our young people, great things happen. I want to give a huge shout out to all of the lawyers who've been reaching out. Y'all know Brandy want to be a lawyer, and I just want to thank all the law firms that's been reaching out, want to help support our youth and get involved. And we just appreciate that because it takes all of it. I keep saying it. I keep telling these people all the time, don't come around me talking about all your PhDs and all your statuses if you ain't helping out and giving back to our young people. Too many times our folks climb the educational ladder, climb the corporate ladder, and they forget to reach back and pick up our youth. But I just want to give a shout out to some amazing folks who've been reaching out and picking up our youth. And I know, Brandy, you went to a firm last week and spent time with some lawyers, and I know you're excited. And I'm just happy. And I just want to say shout out to all those amazing folks and give them Susan and the rest of the team for just getting you out there. And now we got some other phenomenal folks that want to reach out to you. When we talk about the village and we talk about uplifting each other and our youth, that's what it takes. When we call to action to come support our youth, that's what we need our community leaders to do. Step up. Don't figure it. A little bit of time can make a difference, whether it's an hour, 2 hours. The impact that you can have on our young people is tremendous. So again, thank you to all the amazing folks that continue to reach out, support the work we do, support our youth. And that's what it's all about. So with that being said, enough of us. I know y'all sitting there saying, who is these phenomenal gems tonight? We're going to go ahead and bring up our first hidden gem tonight, Miss Ricky Felly. She's coming on. Welcome to both sides of the conversation, Queen. Holla at the community. Tell them who you are. Give them a background. Let them know what you're doing so our community can get behind and support you.
Thanks. It's so great to be here. Thanks for having me. And you know what? So we have an HBCU internship program that I'll talk about in a minute because we're trying to do the same thing and uplift our youth, pre-med students. So anyways, let me tell you my story. So I was diagnosed with stage 3A triple negative breast cancer, which you probably don't even know what it means, but it's the worst one. It has the highest mortality rate, and Black women get it 3 times the rate of white women. I did a lot of chemo. I did radiation. I did surgery. I had a mastectomy. And then they told me I was okay about 8 months later. After about a couple of months, I went back for a checkup, almost a year to the day of my first diagnosis. And my doctor said, okay, Ricky, you now have 5 spots on your chest wall. You're now metastatic. You have 2 years to live. Get your affairs in order. And I said, well, I can't really die right now. I have a daughter in college at Dartmouth. I have to pay for her tuition. So me, you, and God and some drugs or something, we got to work this out. So what have you got for me? So I went to Dr. Google, had to advocate for myself. And on the 3rd page of Dr. Google, I found the Triple Negative Breast Cancer Foundation. I called them. They gave me a doctor. They're probably about one of 5 doctors in the country actually working on triple negative and studying that disease. And she put me on some experimental drugs that were experimental for triple negative breast cancer at the time. And I took a lot more chemo and I didn't die. And it's been 11 years. So I know that God left me here to do this work, to be an advocate for Black women with breast cancer. And I fight like a girl every day to make that happen. I have a God job. So over the years, we have looked at, that was 11 years ago. So over the years, I've kind of dug into the numbers for Black women. And Black women have a 41% higher mortality rate than white women. That means if for every 100 white women that die of breast cancer, 141 Black women die. That is crazy. Black women have a 39% recurrence rate of breast cancer than white women. So we get it back at a high rate. Black women get triple negative, as I said, the worst one, at 3 times the rate of white women. And the worst statistic I hate the most is Black women under 35 get breast cancer at twice the rate of white women and die at 3 times the rate of white women, well before they would have a first mammogram at age 40. These numbers are unacceptable and it's just ridiculous. And so when I started digging, okay, why is this happening? I started digging into the information. Why is this happening? And what we have come to realize is that the drugs we have for breast cancer aren't working for Black women to the extent that they should. There were no Black women in the clinical trials for the development of these drugs. And so they're not working. So we need better drugs. And so how are we going to get better drugs? We're going to get better drugs by getting more Black women to participate in clinical research. And we know that has some funkiness around it because of Henrietta Lacks and the syphilis study. But you know what? Those things have now gone away because there's so many laws in place to protect patients from bad things happening to them. And the research is good and necessary because we need better drugs for breast cancer for Black women. If we don't get better drugs, we're going to keep dying. So we started a campaign about a year ago called When We Trial. And that campaign basically is an education platform for Black women. We learned very quickly that Black women, want to hear from each other. Black breasties hear from each other about get educated about clinical trials. We don't really hear it from doctors. Doctors don't invite us to clinical trials. We know that. And so we try to break down the information and explain the science. And it's pretty simple. People think you're going to get a sugar pill and die. Well, there is no sugar pill in cancer research. You're going to get standard of care, which means it's a drug that's already available, people are already taking, which isn't working great, but it's still there. And then maybe another drug on top of that, a newer drug that could do better. And frankly, if you are a Black woman under 40 and you get triple negative breast cancer, really any breast cancer, a clinical trial is the best science you can get. It's the best drugs for your body. So we're trying to help people understand that better. That Advil you took last week, it was in a clinical trial. It was in a clinical trial. That heart medicine you gave your dog, it was in a clinical trial. Everything is in a clinical trial. And so it's really, really safe and it's really, really, really important. So I want to show you guys a video that we put together to help with educate us. And we have many of these videos, but I'm going to play one for you. So let me just share my screen for a second and show you this. second. I'm pulling it up. I just had it here. 1 second. So, what do you guys think of these numbers? Aren't they crazy?
Yes, they are crazy.
Yeah.
And we had a conversation previously about breast cancer during Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and one of the things we heard is that our young women community need to test early in the 20s. A lot of
I'm
a lot of
gonna
people
talk about that. I'm gonna talk about that in a second, John, because we have another campaign. But
was devastating when Terry's
uh-oh.
blood cancer came back. But we
Where's
learned
that?
that CAR T could be
We have
an
to-
option and asked about it.
You can learn about CAR T too.
We don't want to learn
Visit
about
letschatcart.com.
I knew I was playing it, so here we go. Sorry about that.
When we trial, we make a difference in breast cancer research.
When we trial, we save Black lives.
When we trial, we defy the odds.
When we trial, we do it for our sisters.
When we trial, we do it for our daughters and our sons.
When we trial, we set a new standard of care.
I was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer.
I was diagnosed with triple negative breast cancer at 19 years old.
I was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer at 38.
All you hear is cancer, cancer, cancer. You never think about what the doctor's saying.
Then the doctor looked at me and he said, "Did you hear what I said?" And I said, "Yeah, but I don't know how to be a breast cancer patient."
The numbers for Black women are devastating. Black women have a 41% higher mortality rate than white women. Black women have a 39% higher recurrence rate than white women. Black women get triple negative breast cancer, the worst one, at 3 times the rate of white women. So we're getting breast cancer younger at later stages and earlier ages, and it's just devastating. It's unacceptable.
I know my grandma had it and she beat it, and so I just knew that that was going to be me as well.
So I think then my fight started was when I realized, okay, I'm up for the fight for my life. So she said, well, I got this good clinical trial. You can go on it as a second phase. And she said, I think it'll work for you. But the first thing I asked her was like, am I going to be a guinea pig? Because of our, history with the Black culture.
Over the years, clinical trials for many African Americans have been hocus pocus. So, we know about Tuskegee and Henrietta Lacks.
Clinical trial is no longer a dirty word. It is, it's a halo opportunity. It's a message from God. It's an opportunity for you to live past this moment.
But we need to get more African Americans into clinical trials because we are dying at alarming rates and we have to stop this. We really do.
And right now, there's only a 3% participation rate in clinical trials. And so even the drugs that we're making now, there's no Black bodies being tested. As we built When We Trial, we tried really hard to make it for breasties, by breasties, about breasties, so people could see themselves in what we're doing.
Clinical trials are important. This is top-notch research that we need to have as a Black community.
It's like a butterfly effect. We all got to help each other out in one way to get to the ultimate end goal.
And I think the onus is on us that are cancer survivors to tell the story. And the least that we could do is be on a trial. But how about for your children? And for your children's children? We got to do this thing. We got to save lives. It's just that important.
Wow. Very, very touching. Very touching.
So we hope it convinces people. So we just really want to do it. And so we actually started our campaign about a year ago. And then we did a lot of social media. We did a radio ad in 10 markets. and on the hip hop stations because I wanted young women to hear it, and then we hit the road because I wanted to go into the community where Black women live, work, play, pray, and slay. And so we did 25 events across the country between like May and December. We've done already 3 events this year. And we've signed up 8,000 Black women for clinical trial portals since May. So we know it's working. We know we're convincing women, and we're hopefully educating them to take care of themselves. So that's one of the things that we're doing. And then so we hit the spectrum of the people that are sick, right? So then I said, gosh, we need to reach young women because really you can't prevent breast cancer. You can only early detect it. And to what you said earlier, John, we really want young women to be equipped with information because if Black breast cancer is a thing and we try to populate that information that Black breast cancer is different. And we also have a growing body of research that says a Black breast cancer cell looks different from a white one. So what does that mean for young women? That means Black health, breast health is different. And so we want to help women understand that. So I'm going to show you another video. Hopefully this one's not on YouTube, so hopefully it'll work better. But I'm going to show you.
Girl.
For the love of my girl.
Black women under 35 get breast cancer at 2 times the rate of white women
And die at 3 times the rate.
It's up to us to take care of our girls.
The only solution is conversation.
I choose Black breast health because protecting my girls means protecting all Black girls.
I unlock my her story by talking with my family about our shared health history to know my personal risk.
I get to know my girls as an act of self-care. Are you ready to get in touch with your girls? Visit
loveofmygirls.org to get in touch with your girls.
So we want young Black women to check your girls when you go get your nails done. Check your girls when you go out with your girls. So Brandy, like when you're talking to your girlfriends, talk about breasts. And we know, Black families don't talk about health until Uncle Pookie gets his leg amputated or Grandma Edith is in hospice, right? So we're trying to get young women to start these conversations at home with their mamas on both sides. Ask your grandmas on both sides what your history is, what your her story is, so you know what you're up against. Because only about 5% of breast cancer is hereditary. So a lot of people think because my mom didn't have it, I'm okay, and that is not the case. But if your mom did have it, you are pretty much at risk, and you need to take care of it. And there's a lot of things you can do to prevent, not prevent it, but be ready for it, or be prophylactic about it. So we just want people to understand that Black breast cancer is different, that Black women need better care, different care, that we need better drugs. And I spend most of my days, today included, talking to pharmaceutical companies to get them to make better drugs for us. Tell them your baby is ugly, your drugs aren't working, what have you got for us? And I really do feel like I've been so blessed to have a seat at the table. And the pharma companies are listening to us and hearing us and doing the right thing, and actually letting us help them design clinical trials so that Black women will be attracted to them. So we're just trying to get the word out and help Black women understand what they need to do to be healthy.
Wow. Very powerful stuff, Ricky. I want to say this is always a challenging and tough conversation. I lost my mom last year to this battle. I know it's real. So I'm there with you. So this is always an emotional topic. But one of the things that I wanted to highlight, because I think, it's important that we get you to come back on one of our educational Thursdays and do our presentations. One of the things that I've been really advocating, I've had a couple of researchers on our platform, a couple of medical professionals. And one of the things that I'm noticing, I keep hearing you keying in on the awareness and the access to information. I've been asking these researchers, these doctors as Black clinicians and doctors, how do we create a Black checklist or a Black medical procedure checkout for our community? Because we know Black folks, the issues that we have when it comes to the health system and how we advocate for ourselves. Also, I've been talking to a couple of folks. We have doulas and midwives who work with our women. How do we get doulas to advocate for the regular day-to-day health care needs and health maintenance needs when we know Black folks, when we come into healthcare centers and hospitals, it's always a challenge. And sometimes we don't always ask the right questions. And sometimes because of the harm that's being caused by our health system to the Black community, sometimes we just want to get out of there. But I'm definitely working with some folks, and I want them to come up with this, because I'm like, you buy a new car, there's a whole manual on what you need to check every 10,000, 5,000 miles, right? But how do we put something down, especially for our Black men, especially for the Black women in our community? When we talk about the amount of cancer that is killing our community, whether it's pancreatic cancer, breast cancer, stomach cancer, it's happening. But we need a checklist, because I'm tired of my people going into the doctor. I didn't even think about this. I get all these professional doctors who come on my platform tell me Black folks need to check this, they need to do this. And I'm like, our people ain't going to the hospital asking that.
No.
So how do we put together a Black health kit book that we can help the Black men and Black women out of our community?
I know. I do this segment at my church every third Sunday. We call it "Be the CEO of Your Own Health. Don't let your body fire you." Right. And so I did a segment this Sunday on colon cancer. So guess what? 90% of colon cancer can be prevented. So how's it prevented? Because you get a colonoscopy, right? Now, clearly, we're getting it younger than the colonoscopy age of 40, right? Because look at, we're getting younger. We're getting in our 30s. But once you can get one, if you have a family history, you can get it before you're 40. So you just have to ask. But you have to talk to your family so you know they had it, right? But only 38% of Black people get colonoscopies. Think about that, right? 90% is preventable, and only 38% are actually going to get the test that could save their life. So we have so much education. The other thing we have, and I just put it on Facebook too, is on the comments, is we have a web series every Wednesday night at 6:00 Eastern. So that'd be 3:00 for you guys on the West Coast. It's called The Doctor Is In, and it's on the blackdoctor.org Facebook page, and we talk about everything breast cancer. And, blackdoctor.org has a lot of good content for Black people but to watch it. But just to get people kind of bring that horse to the water is, really a challenge, especially our men. So, but we talk about everything. It's really it's like a girlfriend kitchen table conversation. It's not scientific. And I think, Black people, we're proud. So as soon as we hear a word that we can't spell or we don't know, we tune out. So we try to break the science down. So it's understandable and easy, and it's stuff that will be easy for you to digest and understand, and hopefully take to heart. So,
well, I think the other thing that we just got to put out there, because we got a big fight about reparations. We know Black health disparities at the highest in this country.
Right.
We got to be honest too. We got people who don't want to go because we just have our historical trauma and our fear of going to the doctor. But when you look at the increasing cost of medical to go get treatment, to go get seen. Yeah. And a lot of this is preventing these hospitals and these institutions to do these researches, because to do the labs all the time, to do the x-rays and to do all this stuff, it's a very high cost.
It is.
And, that's the real conversation in this country as we move forward. When we talk about the increasing rate of medical and then these pharmaceuticals, it's a challenge. And if you don't have folks like you all who are putting these forums together to talk and educate people on how to do the natural remedies, because there's a lot of things that we can do, but the education is needed. But the cost of what it's going to cost, it's going to be up there.
I know, but John, a lot of pharmaceutical companies will give the drugs away for free. And they don't really talk about it. But if you dig into their websites, if you have trouble paying for your drugs, there's a lot of programs, and we can help people find those. If you call us, we can help you find if you can't afford your treatment. A lot of pharmaceutical companies will give the drugs away for free. And also, clinical trials are free. There's no cost. If there is a cost, don't do them. That's not a good one to do. But they pay for your care, and really you get a better quality of care in a trial because more people are checking on you. You're getting more scans, more tests. It's really the best care you can get. There's a lot of people looking at you because they want to, did you sneeze? Yeah. Did you, they're really all over you trying to make sure you're okay on the drug. And frankly, if the drug isn't working for you, they change it out. So it's really the best care you can get, and there is no cost. So, you can't do a trial for everything, but, I do trials all the time, even for like, I did one about stress. I did one about the chemicals on my body. Like I want to walk the walk. So I don't need a drug trial, but there's all kinds of trials you can do to enhance your health. So we'll help you find them on our site. We have 4 portals for breast cancer trials, but we're happy to help you find a trial and advance. We got to advance the science. We got to get, and you know what we're doing in breast cancer, I know it relates to other diseases, like look at diabetes, right? Everybody takes metformin, the drug for diabetes. So how come the Black people start to get toes amputated when they turn 60 and the white people are thriving? Because probably there were no Black people in that clinical trial. They just give us the drug. And most drugs were tested on, 50-year-old white men. So for heart disease, for all these high blood pressure. So we need better drugs across the board. We're just trying to start with breast cancer because that's my lane. But we need more of it.
Absolutely. Yes, and healthcare is very expensive. I was at the actual sonogram and radiology clinic earlier, and I watched a lady go up to have her mammo done, but unfortunately the doctor put the wrong diagnosis code on her order, so they told her to be out of pocket. So she looked at the cost and said, "No, I'll just go back and get an order." And I'm thinking, how long is that going to take? So it's like that delay. That delay is not. Sometimes you just have to bite the bullet and just pay out of pocket when it comes to your health. But how could we encourage the younger generation to get a leg up and get your doctor to go ahead and order that, mammography or sonogram or whatever it is that you need, to get checked out?
Well, we tend to have dense breasts, Black women, and now we finally just got legislation that now doctors are required to tell you that your breasts are dense. Most young Black women have dense breasts anyway, but and also we're getting dismissed. So like somebody like Brandy, if she went to the doctor and said, "I feel a lump," he would say, "Oh, Brandy, sweetheart, it's nothing. It's a cyst. Come back in 6 months." And 6 months later, she's, like not a good place. So you have to fight for yourself. You have to demand the care. And, we live in a world of health inequity. Okay. There's no health equity. And I don't think we're going to get to health equity until everybody, every doctor, every healthcare professional practices the golden rule. What your mother taught you when you were 2 years old, what you hear in church every day, treat others as you want to be treated. And so if you feel like your doctor isn't being treated fairly, ask them, well, is that how you would treat your mama? Is that how you would treat your auntie, your grandma, your daughter? And if it's not the way you would treat them, then I want the same care as them. And you have to demand it and ask for it, or fire the doctor and go to another one. And, we have a great doctor in the Bay Area. Her name is Candace Thompson. She's at Stanford and Emeryville. And she has a really great support group for Black women with breast cancer every month. So I'll send you guys her information for her next one. You can maybe post it in your announcements. But she's doing really great work in the community out there. We also have a great navigator out in her name is Z out there as well. But and we can find people for you all over the country. We have about 40 women we call our untouchables that are sort of in different cities that kind of help us help women. And I go on a lot of FaceTime. I go in a lot of doctors' offices on FaceTime with patients. So we're happy to help you in any way we can.
This has truly been good. Brandy, do you have any questions for Miss Fairley?
I don't have any questions, but I do want to say that your story is truly inspiring to not only me, but a lot of young ladies I would know for sure. You are inspiring me to, tell people around my age to go get checked whether you feel like you need to or not.
Yeah.
I do have an auntie who suffered from breast cancer, but she did in fact beat it. So hearing about breast cancer and hearing more survivors talk about their story, I love it. And I'm glad to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. So check out our website, lovewithmygirls.org, and show it to your friends, show the video around and when you're out to dinner with your girls, when you're hanging out, just check your breasts and talk to your grandma on both sides.
Yes.
But then also we do have our internship program. It's 10 weeks. It's paid.
That's what I was going to ask about.
Pay $1,500 for 10 weeks. And all we ask you to do is post on social media, like post on your Instagram or your TikTok or whatever, a couple times a week. We'll give you a lot of content. We have, really cool videos of how to do a self-exam on TikTok that our interns have made. We've now had 47 interns, and we have 14 right now. And we asked for people to be pre-med, pre-health careers. Actually, one of our first interns just got into Harvard Medical School last week, so we're very proud of them. So we pay you, but I really just want you to get straight A's while you're doing it too. Like, I'm a tough mom, but your schoolwork comes first, but we want to encourage you and educate you and help you get through school.
I got a quick question, Ricky, because I know you talked about how the high number of Black women are impacted. And, when we look at research, we look at the body makeup, but they really don't do a lot in the community. And I think our communities play the environment. When we talk about environmental justice, and we talk about the stuff that we deal with as Black folks living in these areas, how much do you think the environments, because in our communities we live close to the railroad tracks, we live close to the factories, we live in some of these areas sometimes where especially in different states where they don't have the protections like here in California, where factories are just dumping chemicals in there. How much that play into our water system and the food? And is that something that you all are advocating too, because I think sometimes we get lost into, yes, a large number of people who are impacted when it comes to these medical issues, but then we don't get the environmental checks to say, like, why are these people getting it? Like, in Mississippi, they talking about the water and things of that nature, the lead in the water. It takes sometimes a dramatic situation for them to look at the environment. But how much you think the environment plays in what's going on?
I think it's a factor, but everything's a factor. But, breast cancer is actually one of the oldest cancers. My doctor actually showed me a book from like Egyptian time where they showed a lump in a breast. So breast cancer doesn't really care. It's not one that cares. Like lung cancer is more environmentally driven, because it really didn't come around until the Industrial Revolution. People started working in factories. But I do think it plays a role. There's one city in New York near Rochester. I forget the name of the city, but like half of the women have breast cancer in that city. So it's got to be from something in the water, in the ground, and something. But the other thing that really affects us is stress. Like I really believe my breast cancer came from stress. And, Black women, we're the superheroes. We're the purple capes. We take care of everybody at our own expense. And I see that a lot, from Black women who are just stressed out. It's funny because when my first meeting with my nurse navigator, I walked in and she was a white woman. She said, "You are stressed out." I said, "I am not stressed out. Stress is for wimps. I don't believe in stress. I don't have time for stress. Like, what am I going to do? Not feed the kid, not go to work?" And I said, "Well, how do I know I'm stressed?" And she said, "Well, how many times a day do you either think or say the word asshole?" Can I say that here? And I never really said it out loud, but that was what I called both my husband of 30 years and my business partner of 10 years. I was the breadwinner for my family and the rainmaker for my company. And I probably said it 100 times a day with a lot of adjectives. And so I said, yeah, maybe I am stressed. So I had to get rid of all the cancers in my life. So I divorced my husband of 30 years. I quit my business partners and I moved to the beach, and I live at the beach now. I go paddleboarding every day, but I had to realize that my peace is non-negotiable, and so is yours. And we don't do that as Black women. You got to find your peace. You got to choose life and find your peace. And that's what I had to do.
Wow. That's very powerful stuff. A lot of work. I mean, this is a real, issue that's continued, every year in October. We always uplift and celebrate, our Women for Breast Cancer Month. But again, I know this is a topic that we got to continue.
Yeah, it doesn't go away. Go away. It's like Black History Month, right? Go Black in March and April and whatever in January.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It doesn't go away, and we really just need to be prepared for it because, like the first thing, and somebody said, "Well, how does it feel when you get diagnosed with breast cancer?" I said, "It feels like you're in a big room and somebody just turned all the lights off and you can't find your way out." Yeah. And then when you get chemo, it's like somebody hits you in the head. So now you're in this dark room with no lights on. You can't find your way, and you got hit in the head. That's what it feels like.
Definitely. I mean, one of the biggest things too, when we talk about advocating for care and advocating for services, one of the things here in the Bay Area, they used to have, these mobile breast cancer trucks that would come to the community, do events. And when COVID took place, a lot of that funding went away.
Right.
And I don't even know where those trucks are at now. They used to have pop-ups. And I think we got to bring that stuff back because of these alarming numbers that continue to happen. How do we get the mobile support? You know, you go in these meetings and everybody's talking about, oh, you got to meet people where they at. But when it comes to Black folks, what we mean meeting people where they at, that means getting into the community. So definitely we're going to be advocating. Hopefully, our Department of Public Health and our folks are really taking this serious as a health issue and making sure that we get those services into our community, bring back those mobile test centers, because sometimes that's the only access point for a lot of our folks in the community. So that's very powerful stuff.
Yeah, we're trying, and we try to do a lot. We have, my doc has a mammo truck, but it's hard to get people to work him now. Like, it's hard to get staff. Like, it's hard to get staff everywhere. I don't know where people went during COVID to get different jobs, but we're trying to do that. But we have 2 people in the community. So Annette Harper and Dr. Candace Thompson are in Oakland, and they are kicking butt on working in the community, and we're happy to go anywhere. Like, for the Love of My Girls campaign, we're doing roller skating parties. So we're going to be in Oakland doing a roller skating party sometime this summer. We'll let you know. But we're just trying to go in the community. Like, we went to Essence Fest. We went to the hair show in DC, Ubiquitous. We went to Martha's Vineyard when all the bougie Black people are there and walk the beach in pink bikinis. And, we dress crazy and wear pink tutus everywhere just to make a statement. We sponsored the Mayor's Ball at Essence Fest and made everybody wear pink. So, but we're trying to just be iconic. We're trying to do iconic things. My 2 hashtags are DIS, do iconic shit, and get shit done, GSD. So we're happy to be here. Thank you for this platform.
Thank you very much. And thank you for keeping the awareness information up in our community. We appreciate you coming on and giving us your time. I know it's late out there, but before we let you go, if you want to give any shout outs to anybody, any other businesses you're doing, this is the time. Because they'll be coming back for you. We say, you went over there, you didn't say anything about me. This is your time. Go ahead and give the folks who've been walking with you through the process, and go ahead and give them some love before you get out of here today.
My mama, right? No, just, I'll give you, our website. We put it all in the social medias out there, but all of our social media is at Touch BBCA, and our websites are, Love of My Girls, spelled GURLS.org, whenwetrial.org, and touchbbca.org. And I put some stuff. I put my email address in the comments on Facebook. My daughter does our internship program. I put her email address there if you want to apply for our internship, and whatever we can do to help you. And if you are a breast cancer thriver right now, if you're struggling right now, call us. We have great support groups to get you and talking to other breasties. The Breastie Club is not one you want to be in, but once you're in, it's unconditional love. And we have 2 support groups every month, and we'll help you. We'll do whatever we can to help. It's my God job.
Yeah, very powerful stuff. Thank you again for being here. This was very informative. And, we just appreciate you coming here, and we're looking forward. We'll have our team reach out to you. Definitely want to get an educational Thursday put together so we can go over some of the in-depth stuff and give you some time to lay it out for the sisters in our community. But we appreciate you coming and just uplifting this and making sure that community is aware. And sisters, listen to the doctor. Get out there. Go ask the questions, and we'll continue to work together and find out. And we're gonna figure out how do we continue to advocate and organize and mobilize our community and bring attention to what's going on so that it's not in the dark. So again, thank you for being here. We appreciate you, and we're looking forward to seeing you back soon. And I know when breast cancer month starts rolling around, we'll be sending out emails to all of our previous guests, and we would definitely love to have you come back on and basically support our sisters in the community.
Would love to. Thank you so much.
All right. Good evening. Get you some rest. Thank you very much.
Okay, be blessed. Thank you. Take care.
All right, community. That's very powerful stuff. Man, information. Sisters, young sisters, get out there. Make sure that you go ahead and get checked. Do it early. Don't wait. Don't tell people you got to wait till you're 40. Get there early. Check yourself, have your group talks, and make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do to check yourself out. I see all of the comments in the comments over there. I see his brother Greg Richardson. He got some pushback. The bishop got everybody irritated in the community. You know what I'm saying? But that's what we do, because you elders are felonies. Another elder who can't handle itself. Brother, you can come on and talk anytime you want to get it off your chest. Get it off your chest. The bishop is here. You know what I'm saying? Our bitter older folks in the community, our bitter elders in the community. That's why we got problems in our community. Young folks, hold our elders accountable. We ain't giving them no respect until they respect the youth, because they've been disrespecting our community too long. With that being said, we're going to bring up a phenomenal brother here, Brother Rogers. Welcome to both sides of the conversation, King. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
All right.
I'll let the people, brother.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, brother.
Oh, bro, all right then, Brother John. Hey, that was a heavy topic, man. That's very important. That's strong to beat, with, and it's a hard fight, but it's a lot of us that's going around, just like, Sister Ricky was saying. But my name is Roger Brown. I want to definitely thank Jocelyn inviting me to this conversation, to this hidden gem of what you guys got going on for both sides of this conversation. And so it's a pleasure to be here, to see you guys' faces, with all this bad stuff going on right now. But like I said, my name is Roger Brown. I'm out here. I'm right here in Fresno, not too far from where you guys at. So I think you said y'all was Bay Area, right? I want to say that.
Yeah, okay. We're in the Bay.
Yes. So just getting a little bio of myself, doing some things out there in the community with the kids. But, I'm currently right now as a tax examiner at the IRS. Been doing that for 17 years. We still there?
Oh, yeah, we're here.
Oh, okay. Because the screen changed on me, so I wasn't for sure.
We spotlight you, brother. You give me your bio. We got to let you talk to the people, brother.
Oh, okay. All right. But anyhow, like I said, I do, I've been working for the IRS. I do have my a bachelor's of science degree, here at Fresno State, in criminology. One of the things that I've been heavily involved in. So I did. Also, I retired. My biggest thing that I retired working at the California Department of Corrections for 18 years. I did that. Learned a lot in there, not just just by being inside. It's a different world, but just seeing a lot of things that what I'll be getting into, talking about. One of the things why I got into what I'm doing. I'm also our organization. I'm a co-founder and the president of our nonprofit organization, Building Youth Tomorrow Today. So that's one of the things that, like, John, you were saying about getting out there, supporting these youth, making them see what needs to be done and said. So the other thing is that by working with the youth, I'm the chairperson, for the youth educator for the African American Farmers of California. That's what I do as well. I'm also on the board of mentally health service called MEGA. So I'm on the board with them, dealing, with a lot of healthcare as well, like Miss Ricky was talking about. And one of the things, I'm also on the technical review committee for the California Department of Food and Agriculture for specialty crops. So I've been doing that for 5 years as well. So let me get into meat and potatoes of everything. Okay, or let you guys have questions first. Let me make sure that.
Go ahead. First, get through your bio, brother. Tell them everything. Then we'll have some questions.
That was the bio, that's the bio, but I just want to get into the meat and potatoes.
Get into the meat and potatoes, brother.
Okay. And the reason why I say meat and potatoes, like everybody said, because being in the agriculture, was the biggest thing of our heart, because that's where, everybody has to eat, no matter what you do. I don't care if it's an animal, everybody has to eat. And not only that we eat, that's where all our medicine is at. That's what we don't know. That's where everything is coded from, like Sister Ricky was talking about, a lot of the cancer things that's going on. That's what we grow. That's what we're doing right now with our youth. Our youth has done a lot of things, and our project is called Watch Us Grow. So literally, we watch our kids grow along with the plants and the animals that they raise right here in California. So you want to know that, between Bakersfield and probably Sacramento, you're going to have the biggest agriculture through the world, because that's who we feed, the world, because we grow so much right here and raise a lot of animals as well. So by saying that, I just wanted to say that we can do a lot of things, and we grow watermelons. And I know, Sister Ricky was talking about a lot of like the diabetes and stuff like that. That's what watermelon is. That's what the pharmaceuticals do. It ain't nothing but the hub of the watermelon. And you don't do nothing but coat that and put it in pills. So these are things that we learning to understand where a lot of our things come from. Just not talking about the things of our youth, the biggest thing. So this is how we get the youth to come to us, because we talk about their Nikes, where they get them from. A lot of people don't understand, not just the youth, but just older people as well. They'll understand that Nike design shoes and get them distributed, but don't realize that that skin comes from to make the shoes. That's where your shoes come from. So we always go back, to, like I said, from the meat and potato, we go to the ground. That's where a lot of stuff come from. So by having that, or raising it. So getting the pig skin, and once you get all the meat and take the meat, then the skin is used to go to these to make these Gucci purses, and like we said, these Jordan stuff. Don't realize that how it really developed. So we go from farm to the table, to sales, all the way to education. Now, and I can get back into that. And the whole thing is that why I say that in that line of order, because our organization have started working with the Boys and Girls Club. And we come together to do our workshops there, because through this process, we as Black folks, we heavily into our HBCUs. From our HBCUs, coming right here from the Valley, we've gotten eight of our kids was nominated to get full ride scholarships. Got full ride scholarships to go to HBCUs, and it's called this USDA 1890 Land Grant Scholarships. That's what they got from agriculture. So the whole thing is, so now they spread it out throughout the nation, going to these HBCUs, because we have trained them to have these workshops to understand how to develop and how to get their portfolio done, to go out there to be competitive with the rest of them. So by doing that, it was easy, because a lot of us Blacks don't go in that era, and they don't realize that's where everything come from. We talked about the brothers that's out there. It's like, where you think jury come from? Where you think all this stuff come from the motherland, from the soil. Everything is from the soil. If it's the soil, that's all we need is the sun, soil, and water, and we're gonna make it happen. And this is what I do all day long. So therefore, we go out there and we make sure our kids understand why is it so important to be this farmer. You don't have to farm all the time. You just got to make sure you know what you give in other folks. So when you talk about from your shoes, from the medicine that we take, it's right there. And that's all we got to continue to do, is to keep growing and keep raising these animals, because that's our wealth right there. This goes back to our ancestors. That's all we did. That's what they did. They made this country what it is. And this is what we talk about. That's why I'm so heavily with our HBCUs and have these strong, courses of having these USDA 1890 land grant scholarships, giving opportunity for our kids, our youth, to get out there and do their thing. Because I'm telling you, this is it right here. You can stay healthy, because no matter what I do, I'm going to know what I'm going to eat. And we're going to make sure that happens soon. This is what we're doing for our youth, to give to our elders. And we get a lot of people out here to see what they do. Let them see what what they, what they medicine and what they wearing. And this all come down. So, but I do want to give you an opportunity to ask some questions because I know
we got some questions, brother. We didn't just let you come and give up the meat and potatoes without the gravy, brother. We got some gravy for you, brother.
Because sometimes, because a lot of people, we talk about a lot of this stuff, as we continue to go with our workshops at the Boys and Girls Club, because we see like a lot of elderlies come in and we make sure we get them, the fruit and vegetables and the watermelon most important, because a lot of this stuff prevent a lot of high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol and things like that. And we're working on this other thing that now we're working in also to beat this cancer. So we're already working on cancer medication as well with our youth. They coming up with things, with like with a lot of our strawberries, from our strawberries, and because the stem of the strawberry is one of our biggest things that we want to do, and we're making food out of it. And by doing so, like they're making soup out of our, not just the strawberries itself, but the stems of the strawberries is a cancer release. That's what they use to stop cancer. Is that? And up there in the Bay Area, this is other young lady. Her name is Brandy as well, Brandy Mack. She lives in the Bay Area. She's a cold woman. We talk about a lot of things from solar farm, because this is what it's all is. When we talk about the STEM program, I'm talking about the science and technology of everything, and they led a lot of our students to, not only with these scholarships, they have gone throughout the world now. So now they've been traveling with the agriculture stuff from Africa. They taught in Africa. They come back here. They've been in Jamaica, Cuba, Thailand, because they learning all the technology and dynamics of agriculture. And these are things that we have to keep moving forward with, because our ancestors struggled for us to take over. And then we got people out here saying that I'm not going to do no slave work. They think that's slavery. Now, you don't know what slavery is. We don't know what slavery is. Our ancestors do. But we need to go out there and claim and get back what we had started. So it's a circle.
Very powerful stuff, brother. That's all I can say. I'm glad you're doing it. I think Black farming is one of the top topics that we definitely need to talk about in our community. We look at the level of obesity in our community, and everything goes back to the food, and us being out of the farming industry. When you look at what's going on across this country, when you look at Black communities, when we talk about the food deserts, the food apartheid, everybody's processed and all of this garbage that we have in our community, I think what you all are doing in the Valley is very important, and getting our young people early involved with that is what's needed. I think if we could go back and really educate our community about the nutrition, the way we're supposed to eat, and taking things that grew out the ground and not just GMO, GMO made and, quick. Everybody wants the instant thing. And I think this is why we have so much mental health, and we have so many of these different issues in our community. We have the highest number of Alzheimer's and things of this nature. And this is why a lot of these folks are having issues, because of the food. Everything goes back to the food. I know Dr. Sebi was big about the food in our community, and way to go to teach our young people how to grow their own food. I know Michelle Obama, when she was in office, trying to really encourage people to get back to gardening and doing some of the traditional things. But we also want to fight for the Black farmers. We don't want the community to forget about the struggles, because we know that the government, we know these other entities have forced Black farmers out, gave funding and support to other white farmers when it was time for disasters and things of that nature. So we got to stick together, because this is part of it. And I think a lot of time we always talk about the things that we have to do collectively. We have to do the things in solidarity to make change. And it starts, with programs like this, where we had our young people. And I just love what you're doing, because you're keeping the young folks in front. And we got too many elders out here who are just destroying our community with their bitterness, with their hatred behavior, and they don't want to pass the torch. See, a lot of this goes back to the traditional things that we lost, the traditional values that we've lost.
Well, Brother John, we got something for that. We got something for that. When they come over there, come out with, we got something for it, because it's all part of therapy anyways. Being out there in the field. I need to
need to get a bus and send some of these elders down here so they can put their hands in the dirt.
Get the
There's
bus
so
and
much
take 'em out.
healing when you take your shoes off and put your feet in the dirt and touch
Put your
the
feet in
ground.
the dirt.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But we got some problem with our elders here. We got a problem with some of the old men in the community. They hate on our young people. They hate on the young people who are thriving. They don't want to pass the torch. Our elders are telling our young people they can't be successful. We got some problems in our community, and maybe this is what they need to do. Maybe we need to give them a back to a journey of coming to the valley and understanding this farming, because they so historic. They have so much history. We need to bring them back. They're missing their history. We got to give them an opportunity so they can get back in there. So, I think that's something important. But that is great that you all are doing that. I think it's really, just great to keep our young minds open to stuff. And this STEM is really important. Even with the young lady talking earlier about breast cancer, this STEM, when we talk about getting our kids into the medical fields, engineering, and things of that nature, is very important. I know there's some phenomenal STEM programs running through the Central Valley up here in the Bay Area as well. And I think that's what it's all about. And I think that stuff is powerful. Keep doing what you're doing, King. Lead by example. But I'm gonna pass it over to colleagues because I know they got some quite look ready. Like, I want to know. Go ahead.
Oh, yes, Roger. So I heard you earlier. You said that you used to be a correctional officer for CDCR. And
Yes.
I've also seen that you've classified yourself as a community parent. How does those come together? Being a community parent and have a background in law enforcement. Can you elaborate on that? Does it help? Does it go hand in hand?
Well, one of the biggest things that my dad told me, was that, because the police was always in the neighborhood, they always chasing us or doing what they could do. And he told me that the only way in order to beat them is to join them. Right. So he told me to join them. And I was like, I just think that was the dumbest thing of all, but once I went that route, I see what he was saying, because now you kind of like even, you got that even playing field. So when I did that, went inside, worked at the prison as a correctional officer, and I used to take a lot of, well, they call them inmates. I just call them our folks, because whatever you done is what you did, and that's why they didn't like me in there. Well, administrator, I should say. When I had to take them to their job site, and their job site was farming, the biggest industry. That's why it's so big. It's $1 billion industry, prison, with all that free labor. And then it goes back to talking about our ancestors. This is what they did. So when you see that, you just have to put it all together and just not look at it as a job. Look at what they're doing. Observe some things. And that's what I did. So when I did that, I put that together. And then it was something I always thought about. And then once I started working with the youth anyhow, there's one lady, Dr. Gloria Ponce Rodriguez, when she told me that I don't think I know more about my folks, the history. And when she gave me that history lessons, I was like, okay, it's time for me to wake up. And I woke up, and then she started, not only that she told me that, but she took not only the Boys and Girls Club kids as well, as this got going, further in the years. She took them and not only did that, but she led them to get to those scholarships. Because she went to a HBCU. She stayed in the hood over here. She knew what she was doing, even though she was a Latina, but she knew everything. That's all she did. That's all she knew. And then when she went back to Washington, D.C. and Virginia, because she went to Norfolk University. And then she was just saying some things that, because she helped write a financial aid package. So she was giving these histories about letting us know what needs to be done. So she took me by her wing and just said, this is what you need to do. If that's what you want to do into political science, because that's what my daughter and my niece and their friends was heading to, political science. And she kept telling them, this is everything. Everything is political science. I don't care what you do. So good, get into agriculture. And then that's when we started developing. She had me do these workshops, and it went from there. I don't know if that answered your question, but that's kind of
Yes, it did, and I thank you for that.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Go ahead, Brandy.
Come on, Brandy. I know you got.
So I am a little bit into agriculture. I don't know if you could say this, but when I was younger, my classroom, we had our own designated garden that we would go out to every week. We would plant all kinds of herbs and produce. They were essentially trying to teach us that, agriculture is a large part of life. As I got older, classrooms stopped thinking so much in agriculture, it's not as important. But one day, me and my mother took upon ourselves to go dig up some watermelons, and that was excruciating. That was fun to me, and I loved doing it. I wanted to ask you a little bit more about this HBCU, how you help your youth get into it, because I am interested in going to an HBCU, and I also am interested in agriculture as well. Would it be okay for me to email you about some more information about that?
Oh, sure. That's most definitely. That's what I do. If I didn't, John would get on me.
I'm getting on you.
I think what you're doing is great, actually. I've gotten so much knowledge on a lot of things being with BSOTC, and this is one of the things that I believe I need to get more involved in. So it was nice to hear from you.
Okay. Yes. And, and you made a great point, because when I was thinking when you said something, because a lot of our kids, we talk about a lot of different things, even though we got older folks who be like, hey man, can I grow some cannabis, and can I do this, and can I get my own workshop? And it's like, because everything coming through us. And of course, I know a lot of farmers, that own, hundreds and hundreds of acres, and this is what, just by being on the board with the youth educator, on that chairperson, you see a lot and you do a lot, and there's a lot of things that's out there, because they kept saying that, because one of the things how I was getting our grants was that they kept telling us over and over, like they always tell us, when we apply for grants, I said, why are us Black folks not getting these grants for this agriculture? And then they said, we never apply. We hear that all the time, and I said, well, I'm applying now. So you need to help us get this. If you're saying this, but that's to brush us off. But I'm asking you, you need to show us how this done. So by doing that, it led up to a bigger avenue, because I had told them that you saying we're in a food security, right? We're in a food security. We're in a food desert. This is what it is. And you talk about how Blacks not participating in farming to help this food desert, because we have a security foods problem. But you don't want to give us the grants. Here it is. The U.S. agriculture census said it's only 1.4% Black farmers in the United States. Right here in Fresno, it was only 0.02 Black farmers, and they all were small, no big corporations. California was 0.05, and that's a problem. And you want to say we don't apply. Well, when I talked to Sacramento, that's why it came to the point that they came, not only I went down there, they came here, and we sat down at a round table and we talked. And you're going to show us how to do these things. This is how you have to do it, because you talk about us on paper, but you need to back it up, because don't come out and put us, on blast like that, and then make it sound like it's us. So therefore, that's another avenue that kind of said, let me go into this era and start doing what we need to be doing as Black folks. And by doing that, we start talking about a lot of bigger things. They start giving us grants to make sure it happens, and getting more kids involved and doing a lot of different things. And but one of our biggest things is now what our kids love, because they talk about, because we had two students that went to Tuskegee, and they was over there and they went up agriculture because it also was a land grant school. What they call it, for black students to go over there in agriculture. And by doing so, she did the tour for George Washington carving them home because it's still there, right? So she did that, and so we want to get in contact. We're going to get in contact with them because a lot of our kids want to grow peanuts. Now everybody else, you know this man the science, and he made peanut butter, but we got Jiffy and Skippy and all these other brands, but we don't have anything of us. Why we can't get this George Washington peanut butter? These are things that we working on as well. This is what I'm saying. It's a whole different avenue of how we get, we want to get into that business aspect, but not only just the business of it, but our culture of it all and learning that who we are, because they don't talk about it. They already, Florida and the rest of the states already want to get rid of our black books. They don't want to see us prosper because they know if we do, it's over. And that's the biggest threat. So that's why we're going to make that threat even stronger. But we're coming through the back door, what they don't see. Because learning this agriculture is one of our biggest ways they don't never see us coming. Because they don't, you got them out there crying and doing stuff, but you don't hear all the political stuff right now, pundits. Because once you get in agriculture, we all could be in those positions in the political world. Because we got a lot. Because ain't nobody gonna tell me you gonna survive without eating. I don't care, you're a vegetarian, whatever. We got it for you. Man, medication on that.
You spot on, brother. I think the second biggest issue that don't want to see us prosper is our own elders. Okay, I gotta call out our elders.
Yeah.
Tearing us up, brother. We got to get our elders in.
Well, and no, you're right. You're right. You made a strong point right there because you're right. That's what made me get there. Hey man, I'll be 59 next week, man, and I've been doing this for a long time. These are the things that we done, and I just want to make sure that, like you hit on point. It's our elders, but when you got something for the elders, because I don't care, you could be an elder. You could be the baddest thug or gangster in the world. I guarantee when you get out there, you're a different person. You're a different person because it's something out there in that field you're going to want. And I'm going to educate you behind it because there's always a need out there.
Well, Roger, so I'm hurt tonight, Roger, because I wish I met you like 15 years ago. Me and my brother had an opportunity right there in the Central Valley to buy an almond ranch, man. And now I looked at that ranch that we was going to buy, and that thing's worth about $17 million. I told my brother, we in trouble, brother. We could have got this. So we city boys, but man, we missed out on the nice almond ranch down there in the Central Valley, right outside of Tulare. Outside of Stockton, man. And I was like, man, we had an opportunity. And that thing I looked at there today, that almond ranch is worth about $17 million, man. I said, oh man, we missed out on
but they are, but and they still more. We just got to pay more. We just have to do it, because no matter what we do, it's going to continue to go up. That's part of the value. So if you're going to jump on this train, we got to jump on it quick. That's what we tell people. We want to invest in this land because you're not gonna beat this land because land ain't nothing but it's property. You're either gonna grow on it or you're gonna build on it or you're gonna do both. I don't care what you do. So it's still something out there. That's why this reparation is gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's why we gotta continue doing it. That's why that's why I want to make sure y'all hearing this, both sides of this conversation.
Man,
right.
definitely.
And that's my hidden gem right there.
Hey man, you are a hidden gem, brother. We happy you here, and I just like your philosophy and where you're going with it. And I keep telling these elders in our community, you have to connect with the youth before you correct the youth. See, the problem that we have, and I think you get it through your program. See, you got to first connect with these people. You can't worry about their pants down, where they come from. First, you got to connect with them and understand what's going on. Mm-hmm. Then you correct them. But see, these elders that we have, they like microwave elders. They want everything now. They just want to go and correct the youth. They don't want to connect with them. They want to tell them what to do. And I like your motto, brother, because that's what it's all about. We talk about creating pathways and pipelines for our young people. It's about exposing them to different things. And I like your grandmother passing the torch, because that's the problem in our community. The reason why the Black community ain't thriving like we should be, because our elders have failed us. Our
Right.
pastors in the pulpit are holding on to the senior pastor role too long, and everything gets stale and it's not effective. And then, you know what I mean? It's just, we got to do better. We the only culture, the only community, and our elders want to die and go to the grave with all the information. They want to go to the grave with everything. And because of that motto and that mind and that thinking, what that does is it sets us back, because now the young folks have to come in here, figure out all the stuff that they was doing, and try to catch up with the other cultures. They're teaching their kids civil engagement. They're teaching their kids gardening. They're teaching their kids STEM, and they're giving up their pulpits and they're giving up their community resources, but they're educating the young people so that when they step down, when their time is up, it keeps moving. We're the only culture that we want to die with all the information, our ego and our pride. And we can't thrive like that. We got to get some folks in here who are willing to do their time, continue to build the foundation, uplift the young people, move them forward. But all our elders want to do is say, no, the youth need to respect us. I'm going to just tell you like this, elders, and I'm going to say it again. The level of respect that I see from the elders to the youth in our community, it's no wonder why our youth don't respect y'all. We can't respect the way y'all disrespect the youth and disrespect the community. It's an adult issue. I keep telling people, the problem in our community is the very adults. I can't blame the kids no more, Roger. I used to blame the kids for everything. And then I started looking at our very adults, the very parents, the very elders, the very leaders. They are the ones who are destroying our community with their divisiveness, with their bitterness, with their hatred, with their unhealed trauma. They're killing our young people. They're killing our community. They ain't taking no more, right?
Killing themselves, like you talked about, you know, a lot of stress and things, you know. But like we say all the time, you know, just come and see the things that we do. You know, I didn't have any video for you due to the fact that because Jocelyn is one working on our website again, because it's been crashed. I don't know what happened. So therefore I didn't have anything for you to show, because we building that, because it's under construction. So we can make sure we will get it out there to all the folks, because we do a lot of bigger things. Because our youth, we travel. Not only that we teaching them to travel, to get out, you know, by going to these Black colleges, by going to these college tours. And we just got back from one, you know, and continue to go to these HBCU college tours. We see a lot of things, and that's all they need. And then when the elders want to sit back and bitter about, hey, where you going, what you doing to get that higher education is what I'm going to get. Something that you want to take with you to the burial ground. I'm going to go out there and I guess I get my own, you know, and learn it, because our ancestors said it's out there for us. So those are bigger things that I could say, you know, that we can move forward with this.
Man, definitely. Now, Roger, on your on your college tours that you're doing, are you taking all kids or just high school kids? Because I'm on a lot of these committees, and I'm always arguing with these people, because here in San Francisco, our kids who are in high school thriving, you know, meeting GPA or above or honor rolls, you know, they get those privileges to go on those tours. And I keep telling them, how do we get the kids that's on the fence, the kids that's on the corner? How do we create programming to get these very kids and teenagers that's off the corner and get them to those tours to see that? Because I truly believe if you remove some of these troubled kids from our community and give them an opportunity to be exposed to other things, they thrive. But what happens is we create all these programming and we only take the kids who are in school. But when you look at what's the programming that we have for our young people who are on the corner, it's not a lot. And I want to encourage people, because we need to get them exposed. Not saying that our young folks are doing right, don't need it. But I think if we get more exposure to the young kids who are on the fence, maybe they going to school, but they still struggling, or maybe they on the verge of dropping out. How do we expose them to more resources, more opportunity, different venues, different places?
Well, John, you said it yourself. It goes back to, you know, they like to hang on the corners and smoke their weed. Let's make it legal. Let's get on out here. Let's go grow some of this. And you get your own place. Let's do this. And I can lay it out for you like we do. We lay it out for them. and say, why not be a businessman? Why not get your own stuff and, you know, do what you need to do with it? Why not have your own business of doing the cannabis again, or doing whatever you want to have your own smoke shop or whatever you want to do? Now, if you're going to be successful or not at it, we don't know. But you are not limited to one or two things. You need a backup plan, first of all. What did you always wanted to do when you was young? Because I know it was out here to be hanging out on the street. Come on. I mean, I worked in a prison. I know you can't tell me what I don't know. I did it for 18 years as a correctional officer. So I can tell you where you're going to go and where you're going to work. What you're going to be doing is what I'm about to tell you to go to. Let's get out in this farm before they have you out there doing it for 8-9 cents an hour, while you can be out here doing it for this. So these are the ways how I kind of reel them in, you know, to do things, better things, you know, because I got something for everything. Agriculture got something for everything. I don't care what you say. I got you on that. I get you all day long because, and if you're going to get them all, no, you won't. But then don't wait until we get our youth there where they need to be. And then be like, man, I should have been there. But I'm not still going to say you're still not welcome, because I don't care what you're going to do. You're going to have to eat.
Hey, that's real.
I got you. Eggs is all high right now.
Right.
Come on, they playing with us. We ain't got time for that plan. I already got farmers that, you know, does the eggs and everything. We was just talking about that earlier. You know, so these are the things that we have to do. And those grants is out there. They $1 million grants. We got kids getting ready to do bees, ready to be beekeepers. They give them, you know, it's just all this type of stuff that we make our own honey. That's one of the best things that's out there, is that. And that, it's like, you got your own honey, let's go for it. They pollinate, because they do both things. They either pollinate for you to make your things grow better and give it the sweetness, and you get your own honey. So it's so much, it's so broad. I can't tell you everything. Y'all be like, don't let this man come back on our show right now.
This is what it's about. We trying to educate our community. We trying to empower our community. This is what this is about. I'm gonna take the time so that our community gets the information. I mean, we're looking for alternatives. We're looking for opportunities. We're trying to get our community to get out of neutral. We are stagnated as a community. People are looking for ways and things, and this is what this is about. This is why we have you here. You're not hitting no more, brother. And when I get a chance to get down to the Fresno, I'm gonna reach out to Jocelyn, and we're gonna pull up, man, and check it out. I want to see the farm, man. I want to see what's going on.
I had her out there in the watermelon. I said, this is only just this right here, you know, not. See, they used to tease us about it, like, you know, for black folks eating watermelon, but the white folks, you know, they there collecting them, making a medication out of it for diabetes, and we buying it, and we right there in the field with it. Come on, you know, these are things that we had a conversation while we out there, while the kids doing their thing. So, you know, and another thing, you know, with our watermelons, because we do smoothies with them, right? We do also with our strawberries, we do the strawberry banana mint, right? Because we grow that stuff too. Except the bananas, you can grow bananas in your area because they got the weather for it. So we always go there and get the bananas. But other things that what I'm saying is, like, when we do the mint and we have this, we make it our own smoothies. That's what we do. And we take that to the schools. So we be on the street corners, and then we have the kids, because we have this thing called a blender bike. So you get on this bike and you pedaling in, and you see what it works and it does, and then making your own smoothies. So it's a lot of little stuff that you'll see on our videos and what we do, what our youth does. And so we take it to the high schools, and it's just so many people just want to be part of it, you know. But like they said, our thing's going to be sold to the school, you know, and further on up. So, and that's why our organization, that's why the kids named it Watch Us Grow.
That's dope.
In different ways. Watch Us Grow in different ways.
I like that name, man. Y'all should set up the barter system so the kids in the Bay Area can work with the kids in Central Valley, and y'all swap y'all grow.
We're in the Bay. That's what I said, because Brandy Mack, she's from the Bay Area. She's from Oakland. Die Hard. We always at the the markets there, the Mandela's Market and stuff. We'll be down there in 2 weeks. So we'll be doing some things down there, because they get most of our stuff, because we have a lot of people keep calling and offering. Even the biggest part is the hardest part, I should say, is trying to work with Las Vegas, because they need everything, and they pay 4 or 5 times the amount. you know, but they'll run you out because they got so many restaurants and they need so much. So other than that, yeah, it's work, but it's doable. It's doable. So we can do this. We can do this.
Khalees, was you trying to ask the question? I see you come.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Go
Oh
for
no, I'm just like, when you come out here, can you bring some watermelons?
You want to bring some watermelons? Okay. You know, we'd been having some coming up real soon, but with all this bad weather, that's slowed up a lot of stuff. So we'll be getting it, but we'll be getting it slowly. You know, of course, it's gonna all dry up. So, you know, we'll be doing some things. So yeah, we'll bring some. Well, we won't have no. We coming down there because, like I said, they haven't grown anything. Because we'll be down there. It's a conference that we're taking our youth to, and UC Berkeley. It's called the Bioneers Conference. So we'll be at the Bioneers Conference with our youth. So we should have about like 15 of them, our youth down there, the ones that looking for some things. So we'll be there, and then we're going to the week after. We'll be going to this thing called the Manners. That's the acronym, MANRRS. It's called Manners. Look that up. That's about 80% all Black farmers. And it's gonna be in Atlanta.
Wow.
MANRRS. That's acronyms because it's from minorities in agriculture of natural resource related science.
Wow, you got to put that in the chat so we can get that out. Yeah, put that in the private chat so we can get that out to the community. I think that's very important information, man. Hey, Roger, I'm excited. You got me fired up. I had to call out to my investors and get to talking to them. Maybe I need to go give me one of those avocado ranches down there. Give me some almonds. I got to get back in the business, man. We was on it.
There's so
I
much.
guess we got to get back on it because we got to bring some healthy food to our community. We got to uplift our community. I'm gonna go ahead tonight. Give my brother a call and say, brother, we got to go down there and buy some farm, man. It's that time. We got some Black farmers out here.
Buy that land, man. Because not we losing. That's the number one thing I only can say that'll get us moving right now. I mean, it's a lot of other things, but I can see that right there as its peak, because once you know what you need, once you know that everybody necessity, you can't go wrong. That's why we sit here and look at all the politics. You know who running it all? White farmers. All the white farmers running that. They running everything because they got the money. All your billionaires, that's the farmers. Like you said, those almonds, I know about 2 or 3 of them. There's billionaires. We work with them all the time. They billionaires with the almonds. And that most of them is, Iranians. They got all, they tied all. You see what they did? They came straight down here and bought diesels and bought all the land. They know it. Asians, same thing. We the only one just sitting back thinking like, I ain't doing that. I don't want to mess with that. But don't realize it's just not the food, it's also the health. And so, but yeah, we got a lot going on. So with our youth, they all over the place. They all over the world. So, and I think we got 2 of them going to Canada and 1 going to Mexico. I think the other one got to go back because they teach in Ghana, in Africa.
Wow, very powerful stuff, brother.
They want to give them money.
Hey, before we let you go, brother, we want to give you an opportunity. If you want to shout out any folks, uplift any folks that helped walk the way with you, any of your staff or any of your youth, man, this is the time. Go ahead and uplift them. We don't want them to come on mad and say, oh, man, Roger didn't shout us out, man, all this stuff we be doing. Shout out your team and all your folks behind the scene, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is what it's all about.
All right. Well, with that being said, brother, thank you for being here. Thanks for educating our community. We do have Black farmers in the valley, people. Get out there. Check into your folks. See what's going on. Get out there to the farming land.
Well, we got a conference coming up, and that also right before us. So that's the one on the 21st. It'll be at Fresno State. So it's an Afro-American conference, Afro-American Farmers Conference.
Wow, that's pretty dope, man. Make sure you get us the information, any digital flyers, so that we can blast it out to the community. We got folks all over watching, and we want to make sure that our folks who are interested, are intrigued, even our young people like Brandy, they got an opportunity to connect.
Right,
that's what we want to do, is connect the research.
So we'll be hooking up, and she'll give you a lot of information. Brandy is going to be great working with you and everyone else, because you'll see a lot of stuff, because we got our nutritionist educator and stuff, and they all from, just from the Valley. Matter of fact, she's from Stockton, but she's down here working with us on some things and helping out with the kids. So we're gonna be up there one. Well, I'll say the youth will be up there. I've been and did my job by then, so but they will be there to make sure everything's happened. So they're the younger group, so we will do that. Yes, sir.
That's definitely cool, brother. Well, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving time. Thank you for connecting with our community. Thank you for being a leader, demonstrating what's possible. This is what leadership look like. Elders, give back to the youth. Let them lead. Pass the torch. Breathe into them the life of opportunity.
Pass that baton.
Come on, pass the baton. All right. All right. Well, thank you, Roger, for being here.
Okay.
And we appreciate you, King, and we'll be reaching out soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you. All right. You're welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Brandy, before we get out of here, Brandy, any last words you want to give out to the community, Brandy? Anything you want to say to the people, Brandy?
Well, thank you, community, for tuning in on the show, because we got a lot of supporters and viewers. I see a lot of people commenting and saying a lot of things. I do want to say thank you, because you brought a lot of things back to my mind that I completely forgot about. The blender bike. Oh my goodness. I remember getting on that blender bike when I was in elementary school. But it was great to see you and seeing Miss Fairley on the show. It was great, educating, and I'm glad to have learned some things from you, and I'm sure everyone in the comments and all the viewers would say the same. I want to say thank you to my mentors, my after-school program teachers, for showing me the blender bike, showing me that agriculture is extremely important, because without farmers, we would be, who knows. But thank you for being on our show, and thank you, John, for getting him on here so we can learn some more.
No problem. Thank you very much, Brandy. And y'all see our youth. That's what it's all about. Bringing up the next generation, passing torch, let them lead, elders. With that being said, Khalees, go ahead and talk to the people. How you feeling tonight, Queen?
Oh, I'm feeling real good, because you know what? We have the say-so over our life. We can get out there, get those mammos early. Mrs. Fairley brought us a great wealth of information, how she's come from a 2-month diagnosis where your deadline, your time is up, to 11 years longevity and still moving. So get out there, get these mammograms, get the testing done, get out there, community. You have the power over your life. Don't be lazy. Get to moving, fight for your life. You don't know if you're not told, but you've been told today. And also finding out about these watermelons. I remember my grandmother used to have us snapping peas and picking greens and all this other stuff, and going to pick plums and stuff from my auntie and uncle's garden. It's all coming back around, because I was scared to go out in the front yard and pull that rosemary up. I actually was going to take my weed weeder and whack it up, but I'm learning today. You've taught me a lot, Roger. I can actually go out there and eat those lemons and oranges off the tree out back. I am frightened, but I can do that, because when I get my hands on some watermelons, I'm going to be all right. So it is an advantage to be able to grow your own food. And this has been very good. You've both been truly a hidden gem.
Thank you.
All right, community. Y'all know, before we go, the bishop, I got to give a benediction to the people, because tonight it's been real. See, we disruptors here at both sides of the conversation. Y'all see the haters in the chat, people mad. Yeah, it's my organization. It's me, the bishop. I'm the one that's calling out the elders. Yes, it is me, and I'm standing on it. Yes, you elders are failing our community. Yes, it is me, the bishop. See, because they say in the Bible, it doesn't talk about reverends. It talks about pastors. It talks about bishops. It talks about apostles. But you don't see nothing about no reverends. It is time for the reverends to step down, community. Yeah, that's me. It's me, John Henry. I said it.
Malcolm X, man.
Yeah, all of these haters. Yeah, these elders who hate on the youth. Yeah, all these elders who got something to say. It's mighty funny. Y'all always got something to say, but y'all ain't been doing a whole lot lately. Y'all brag about all the things y'all did, but look at the community. Oh, I've been doing this for 40 years, 50 years. Look at our people. Look at the condition of our people. I shouldn't say this, but elders, are you so proud? Because our communities are not thriving. They are not doing well. Yeah, be careful what you're proud of, because a lot of the harm that's caused in our community is from the very elders who walk around boasting about their years of service and all the work that they do. But when I look around and I see Black folks at the bottom of the list everywhere, when it comes to health disparities, we at the bottom. When it comes to financial wealth, we at the bottom. When it comes to earning income, we at the bottom. When it comes to the harm in our community, we at the bottom. Elders, y'all the leaders, y'all had the time. What's going on? Y'all just want to blame the youth. Blame the youth. We're going to have some I statements this Sunday. Elders, I'm still calling y'all out. All y'all haters that got something to say. This Sunday's conversation, yes, we are calling for Reverend Brown to step down. Yes, that is our organization. You are welcome. We still have some slots open, community. You got to get it off your chest. Come talk to the bishop. We're going to have a conversation about it. We can't have our elders selling off our community. We can't have our elders lying to the people. We can't have our elders turning their back on the community. No, we can't accept this anymore. Yeah, I'm the bishop. I called them out. I accept all the haters. I ain't going to kick you out. I'm not going to do you like the elders do. Get out my church when you don't agree with me. No, I'm not going to do that. Come on. We're going to have a conversation. But that's what we do here at Both Sides of the Conversation. We let everybody speak their truth. It's your perspective. Come on. Come talk to the bishop, though. All the elders, they mad. They mad. Oh, yeah. Elders, we talking to you. You want respect, elders? You want to get some respect from the young people, elders? You want some respect from the community? Pass the torch. Yeah, because some of y'all been in the pulpit a little too long. Some of y'all been robbing the community for way too long. Some of y'all been misrepresenting our community for way too long. Yes, the bishop is going to say something about it. We're going to call you out. Y'all can come on. Let's debate. We can have a conversation this Sunday. I got room. I told y'all, community, last Sunday. We can have this conversation for 3 weeks in a row if you want. I want to make sure everybody get their voice heard. But we will have the conversation, elders. So before I go today, reparations first, community first, elders, pass the torch. With that being said, I will give the benediction because it's that time. So with that, I'm going to leave y'all with this. Tonight, it's been interesting. It's been very informative. I'm remotivated. I'm looking to call my brother. We gotta call our investors. We gotta get us some land because tonight, Brother Rogers just talked about the opportunities that are out there for our community to bring healthy food to our people. We could kill the very problem in our community with the food deserts if we get into the farming business. Young people, here's an opportunity. You want to grow something. You want to learn agriculture. You want to learn some other things besides standing on the corner. Reach out to Brother Roger. Maybe we can connect and help our community out by bringing some of that good food fresh off the ground, not the processed food, the good food, the food that our ancestors worked so hard to grow. The work in the garden is so relaxing. Yeah, we can do it. Reach out to Brother Roger. He's leading the next generation of Black farmers. He is leading the next generation of young people. He is willing to give the information. See, leadership is about demonstrating what's possible. You can't be a leader if you can't demonstrate what's possible. He's doing it. He's an example of leadership. Letting our young people get an opportunity to grow, to think, to see other things, going to the Black colleges, letting them know there is an opportunity. He's not sitting back saying, you can't do it. You shouldn't get an opportunity. No, he's opening the door. More of our elders need to open the door for the young people. Too many times our elders are hogging the mic. Let the young people speak. Put the young people at the podium. Listen to their needs. We got some opportunities out there, community. We're bringing you the resources. All of the organizations out there looking for programming, reach out to Roger. Let's connect our youth. Let's get them in something different. Let's make an opportunity, community. We're here to thrive. We're not going to stand on the right side of history. We're going to step into the future. We're looking for equity. We're looking for ownership. We're looking for a new way, a new opportunity, a new day. We're not going to sit here in the past, wrapped in our trauma. Our ancestors did all of that for us. The job is to move forward, push forward, make the next generation of youth, make them the ones who set the tone for the future. I'm on the right side of the future, community. That's what I'm about. I want to see our community thrive. I want to see the people come together. But before we can get there, we got to have the truth. We also heard from a powerful sister tonight talking about one of the very issues in our community when we talk about breast cancer, when we talk about the very cancers that is taking away our families, our future. How do we fix it? This is a problem, community. We got to wake up and understand our environments, what's going on in our body. We got to get in tune. We got to start checking in on ourselves. We got to make sure that we are doing the right things, eating the right things, exercising, making sure that we are checking in. Tonight, we had a powerful sister talking about the very disease. See, when you have the resilience, when you have the information, when you have the go and not the quit. See, it's the go. See, they always say you got to have a dog in you. See, they told her she wasn't going to live for 2 years, but she said, no, I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to advocate for myself. Yeah, she got more time because she took the time to go do it herself. You were just here tonight. You got some easy information. You don't even got to do all the research. She's done the research. This is an elder who's giving back to the community. She's sharing the information. She's not like some of these elders holding on to the information, going to the grave with the information. See, she didn't come on here saying, this is what I went through. I'm not going to give the information because y'all didn't go through what I went through. Y'all didn't do the research, so I'm going to hold on. And she said, no, I learned some things, community. Black women, she learned some things. She came here tonight to give you some jewels, give you some gems, give you some resources. That's what we're about here at both sides of the conversation, making sure our community is informed, making sure they get the education, the resources, the engagement. Yeah, see, sometimes in our community, we complaining, how do I get connected? I didn't know this was going on. Tonight, you got connected with 2 phenomenal hidden gems. It's all related to health. You got to eat right. And then you got to take care of your body. You got some great gems tonight, community. I hope y'all appreciate it. These are the elders. These are the leaders of our community that we need. I keep telling y'all, pull out the mirror. Look at your face. What are you doing, community? Elders, what are you doing to elevate the community? Are you causing continued harm to the community? Or are you trying to advance the community? I believe there's an opportunity. Some things have to change. When we talk about changing the narrative on this platform, sometimes to change the narrative, you got to change the leaders. You got to change the same old thinking. You got to change the same old games that's being played. You got to call it out. Yeah, the bishop, I will call it out. Community, step with me. Everybody that's resisting, let them resist. Community, pay attention. See where they stand, because these very people are the ones who are causing harm in our community. Our young people need leaders. They need respectable leaders. They need elders who are willing to stand up on the right side of the future, not die and perish on the right side of history. I'm not a historian, but this Sunday, we got a historian who's going to come on and talk about the historical things. I'm a futurist. I'm talking about the future. But I got a historian coming on because we're going to have a conversation about reparations. We have a conversation about our elders. Yeah, this Sunday, y'all, it's going down. Both sides of the conversation. Come check us out. All of opposing folks. I welcome you. Let's have the conversation. Until then, I am not down with Reverend Brown. He must step down. It is time for new leadership. Yes, it is me, the bishop. I'm standing on it. This is not a cancel culture thing. Since all y'all want to talk about, we can't cancel our elders. No, cancel culture is when something happened one time and the community say we're done with them. These very people have continued to cause harm in our community year after year, decade after decade. This is not a cancel culture moment. No, this is a real opportunity to call out what's been going on and saying enough's enough. This is a enough's enough moment. Yes, we need new leadership. We need change, and we will get there because we're going to stand on it. We're going to stand on the community. It's not going down until Reverend Brown stepped down, community. We're applying that pressure. Big dogs over here. Yeah, we're applying that pressure at both sides of the conversation. We're going to lead the way. Thank you for all the community calls. Thank you for all my real elders that's like, yes, John, it is time. Thank you for stepping up. Fellas, I'm looking for y'all. Fellas, all the black males in the community. This is a man's issue now, brothers. I got some sisters who called me today. They said, John, it is time for the black man of San Francisco to stand together and deal with another black man. Why do the women of the community got to deal with a black man? I said, you know what? I agree with you, Queen. Black man of San Francisco. Unmute yourself. Step and stand. We got an issue we got to deal with. How many of y'all ready to step with the bishop? That's what men do. We address man issues like men. All my alpha males, where you at, brothers? Where y'all at? It is time for the black man of San Francisco to stand up. Let's stand together, black man. We got a problem in our community. We got to deal with it. The nation is waiting. People across the country is calling for Reverend Brown to step down. Where's my black man in San Francisco? We can't tuck our tails, black man, alpha males. Let's go. This Sunday, y'all, we have a powerful conversation. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the opposition. This is not a council culture. It's time for our elders to understand if you don't respect the community, you sell out the community, you lie to the community, we're not tolerating it no more. That's what it is. It's a new day in San Francisco. We got some young leaders coming. We will be a part of the future. Yeah. I hope to see y'all this Sunday, man. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. This has been a powerful Hidden Gem segment. I'm excited. We got some farmers coming up. We got some folks who go catch the breast cancer before it spread all over their body. Community, this Thursday, we're going to have the DPA here. The folks that's holding the police accountable. The Department of Police Accountability is coming on. I won't be here because I'll be out handling business in the community. Brandy and Khalees will be here to talk to the DPA and ask them the questions. What does police accountability look like? We got some problems in our community with the police community. Let's see what they're doing. Let's hold them accountable. Let's get the information. Let's check the resources. Yeah, they coming on to give us some information. You know, the bishop, we'll follow up with them and make sure they doing what they supposed to do. Again, community, if we don't get involved, it's going to be some stuff we got to deal with because there's a volcano in San Francisco that's about to erupt. The lava is flowing. Get ready, community. We got a bigger fight on our hand. We got to come together. Got to have the conversations. We got to deal with it. We got some problems, but we'll get there together. We'll figure it out. We always do. But it's time for a change, community. And both sides of the conversation, we'll be there. We're changing the narrative. With that being said, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see y'all this Thursday. Check us out. And then this Sunday, we're going to have a conversation about reparation and the call to action for Reverend Brown to step down. The petition is out there. The work behind the scenes is happening. We're not stopping until we get change. All power is in the people. Yeah, all power to the people. Community, you've sat back long enough. I got the calls. I got the emails. They've been quiet long enough. They say, John Henry, Bishop, you got to see this one through. Reverend Brown must step down, community. We will hold them accountable here at both sides of the conversation. It's a new day coming, Bay Area. Get ready. We got some powerful black men that's coming together. They thinking, they meeting. We go change this narrative, community. We'll see y'all all this Thursday. Have a blessed evening. Be safe. This rain is coming down. It's going to be here for the next 24 hours. Be safe out there. Trees are falling. If you're on the freeway, slow down. Check on your elders. Check on mom and dad. There's still about 35,000 people without power. Make sure they got their prescriptions. Make sure they have what they need. If you're living by the levees, keep an eye on the water rising overnight. And be safe out there, community. We love y'all. We'll see y'all this Thursday. Have a blessed one, everybody.